Southwest is ready.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am truly honored to rise in the House today as the 966th member of this Assembly and as the member for the beautiful riding of Edmonton Southwest. Edmonton Southwest is one of the fastest growing ridings in the province. It is diverse, both demographically and in its environment. The riding is home to the future Big Island Provincial Park, which contains 68 acres of untouched natural beauty along the North Saskatchewan River, including significant wetlands, mature balsam forest, and abundant wildlife. On a map, Edmonton Southwest is oblong in shape, bisected by the North Saskatchewan River. The riding has been described as, and I quote, having the vague appearance of an abstract cockatoo looking over its shoulder, end quote.
Okay.
Edmonton Southwest is home to many vibrant communities, representing many different cultural backgrounds and religions. Major languages spoken include Tagalog, Mandarin, Cantonese, Spanish, Punjabi, and Arabic, among others. In many ways, Edmonton Southwest is a perfect microcosm of Alberta. It is a reflection of hardworking folks from all walks of life, from oil field workers to plumbers to healthcare workers and teachers. The average age of residents is 34. Their top concerns? Affordability, healthcare, and education, especially the need for schools. I'm proud to have advocated and opened several area schools, having served as the Edmonton Public School Board trustee for much of the riding for nearly 10 years. But we need more. My story is like the story of many Albertans. I am the son of immigrants. I was born in Taiwan. My parents came to Alberta in the 1980s, in part so that my sister and I could be afforded better opportunities. Like many immigrants of their generation, it was not easy making their way in a new country. Economic opportunities were often limited for folks who had little or no formal education in Canada. So my parents worked hard to forge their own path, operating small businesses over the years. Some achieved moderate success, others less so. Money was at times tight, but we were always provided for, always loved. From my parents, I learned grit, resilience, ingenuity, and the importance of perseverance. While my mother spoke little English, she was resourceful, always informed, active in her church, and surrounded by other amazing women in the Chinese-Canadian community where they would uplift one another. My childhood was rooted in and supported by community. As a one-time English language learner, I benefited from the support of teachers and educational assistants until second grade. Without question, I wouldn't be here today without the support of a strong public education system and of a vibrant community. But today, the building blocks of a well-supported education system are at risk. Funding per student has not kept pace with population growth. Class sizes are larger and more complex than ever before. Students travel long distances to attend school. New and growing neighborhoods do not have enough school space. Alberta is short thousands of teachers and educational assistants. Having served as a school board trustee, I witnessed firsthand the impact of deep cuts to education over the past 4 years, and in particular the gutting of program unit funding, or PUF, an early years intervention program that was once the envy of Canada. It is well documented that between ages 0 to 5 is a crucial window in a child's development. Children who are able to read at grade level by grade 3 are more likely to finish high school and achieve success beyond. So it is shameful that this government has cut funding and support to Alberta's most vulnerable children. Changes to the education funding formula has resulted in fewer dollars for growing school divisions and does not fully fund student growth, especially at a time when the province is seeing high interprovincial and international migration. Cuts are often cloaked and disguised as funding formula changes or adjustments, but a cut is a cut, and it comes at a price. As my former school board colleague, the great Ray Martin, would always say, you pay now or you pay later. Mr. Speaker, it is ultimately the children of this province who bear the costs of short-sighted decisions by this government in the name of fiscal prudence. We know that investing in prevention, whether in healthcare or in education or in other essential public services, will benefit all Albertans in the long run. We must also consider the human costs. Imagine children who fall through the cracks and who do not receive the intervention or support they need. Imagine the Albertan who cannot access timely primary care. We all bear the costs of lost potential. And as Alberta builds the economy of the future, it's not what's underneath the ground that is most valuable, it is what's above it. It's people. To adapt and thrive in an ever-changing world, we must invest in the people of Alberta. That means investing in the collective good, in initiatives that will benefit all Albertans. That means investing in public education and public health care, in a renewable energy future. We must invest in new and emerging innovations, in knowledge creation and research, and talent retention, which also means adequately funding post-secondary education. The world is changing. Globally, we face an uncertain future. With climate change, upheaval in parts of the world, our province is at a crossroads. We can either embrace change or run away from it. We have the opportunity to make the principled and necessary decisions that will harness the potential and possibility of this province. Mr. Speaker, I believe the role of government is to create the best possible conditions that will allow all Albertans to prosper, thrive, and flourish, and to ensure that every Albertan, regardless of background or circumstance, can live a life of dignity and fulfillment rooted in a sense of belonging and community. I am proud to be part of a social democratic tradition where we believe access to quality education, healthcare, affordable housing, a living wage is a right, not a privilege. I am proud to be on the side of the House that cut child poverty in half when in government and that believes in the potential of everyday Albertans. I am proud to be part of a history-making caucus. Mr. Speaker, I have spent much of my career in community and economic development advocating for Albertans. Most recently, prior to my election to this House, I led startup programs for Edmonton Unlimited, the City of Edmonton's innovation catalyst. There, I was inspired by entrepreneurs and innovators who were doing their part to solve intractable problems. I met a small business owner who was creating a platform and marketplace for underserved, racialized women. Another company pioneered a technology that transformed waste to energy. One entrepreneur was working to connect students to affordable housing. Like my parents and so many everyday Albertans I've met in my riding, these innovators, entrepreneurs, and problem solvers represent the spirit and resilience of Alberta. Our diversity is what makes us strong. So it is hard to believe that just 3 generations ago, my election to the legislature would not have been possible. 100 years ago, with the passing of the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1923, someone like me would not have been allowed to enter Canada, much less seek public office. I am proud to be part of just a handful of members to have been elected in this chamber, to this chamber of Chinese descent, and I am proud to be the first Taiwan-born MLA. Progress towards a more equitable and inclusive and more just society cannot be taken for granted. The trajectory is not always linear. I am standing here on a path paved by trailblazers before me, and it is in their honor that I will continue fighting for a kinder, more inclusive Alberta. And to those Albertans who feel unseen and unheard, I want you to know that you matter and you belong. When my mother first arrived in Alberta, the first thing she noticed was a big blue, seemingly endless sky. Our blue skies are emblematic of the possibility of this province. My colleagues, we all here for a limited time, stewards of this hallowed place and all it represents. Let's work together in the interests of all Albertans. Finally, I want to thank my family for their enduring love and support, especially to my mother, the strongest, most resilient person I know. I am proud to be your son. And to my mentors and many friends, volunteers, and supporters, my journey would not have been possible without you. And to the people of Edmonton Southwest, thank you for sharing your stories, your hopes, your dreams, aspirations, and challenges with me. My abiding commitment to you is to always represent you with integrity and to the best of my ability, and to always tirelessly advocate for you. Thank you for placing your trust in me. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move we adjourn debate.